Welcome. Since this last lesson on proofs was a little bit harder, I thought I'd just give you one IXL lesson today and make it a little bit simpler one. But I do want it to be a concept we haven't talked about. Well, it is a concept we've talked about, it's just an extension of. And we've talked about triangle congruency postulates. We've talked about if we have two triangles where we know that one side is congruent to the other on another triangle, and then this one with the 2 tick marks is congruent to this one, and this one with the 3 ticks is congruent with the 3 ticks. We know these two triangles are congruent by side, side, side. Again, to speed up a little bit, we also had side, angle, side, where we have to make sure that the angle is formed by the two sides that are congruent, or it's in between those two sides. If it was one of these two outside angles, it would not work. Side, side, angle does not work. Angle, side, angle also works though. Angles, two angles with the side in between the two angles. Or we could have two angles and then the side outside. If we have two angles in any side, we actually have congruency. So angle, angle, side. The new one that I haven't talked about is hypotenuse leg. If we have a right triangle, so in other words, we have that little square in the corner of the right triangle, and we have the hypotenuse, we know the hypotenuse, and we know one of the legs, we call these two sides the legs, so we have a leg and the hypotenuse. We know these are congruent by hypotenuse leg. They call it the hypotenuse leg theorem. Don't confuse it with side, side, angle, because that's the thing. It's a very special one that actually works. It's when the angle happens to be a right or a 90-degree angle. If this was any other degree angle, it wouldn't work. But if it's a right angle, then hypotenuse legs works. So the homework that we're going to be doing today, and I'm going to go over some of the problems with you. I want you to do IXL in geometry, section K. I want you to do 11, hypotenuse leg theorem. Now, what's nice about it is it's not going to require you to actually do any proofs. All it wants you to do is to say if these two triangles were congruent, if the two triangles are congruent, then the hypotenuses must be equal in size. So if this triangle has a side length of 40, guess what? B must be 40. Oh, that was really difficult. If this side length here was, this side length over here was 16, and this was its corresponding side, guess what C would have to be? 16. Wow, very difficult lesson, but you should be able to fly through this pretty quickly. Just be warned, you are going to get to some that require a little bit of algebra. What I mean by algebra is, look, we have the hypotenuse of the one triangle is S plus 39. The hypotenuse of the other triangle is 42. Well, if the two triangles are congruent, S plus 39 must equal 42. So you set up the little simple equation, minus 39 from 42. We find out S must be 3. Likewise, T plus 9, if it corresponds to 14, T plus 9 must equal the 14. So if I minus the 9 off, I get T is 5. So again, be a little careful as you get up. You're going to be given some problems that require a little bit of algebra. Please be careful too. For some reason, IXL, it wraps the equation. So this is W plus 12 is equal to 5W. So again, all you would have to do is set up a simple little equation, W plus 12, that's this short side here, equals, again, its corresponding short side, 5W, and then solve for W. Minus W from both sides, minus W, we get 12 equals 4W, and divide by 4, we find out W is 3. So I come in here, type in 3. Again, something very similar up here with the 6V equals V plus 35. Since this is the hypotenuse and hypotenuse, they're corresponding and they're congruent. So I minus the V over, that's 5V, divide by 5, we find out V is 7. Right? So again, just be a little careful when it comes to the latter ones that you set up a simple equation, just set the corresponding sides equal and then solve for the given variable. If you have questions, please get online and ask me for help, and I will help you solve them. For instance, this one here, just in a quick iteration, you're going to have to solve the hypotenuse first and find the value of b, then substitute b in to this expression so you can solve for c. So there might be multiple parts. It's just being able to think through it and do your basic algebra. So again, if you have questions, please get online during my Zoom hours, and I will definitely help you.